Everybody, welcome to Sports Section Morning Show, episode 24, man. What a day. What a day yesterday was, man. What a day. Today, September 11th, Monday. We're going to talk a lot of Titans, of course, today. We're going to touch on NFL all the way around. We'll probably touch on some college football also. Taking live callers today throughout the show. 931-603-1476. That's 931-603-1476. Let's get some music going.
The Sports Section Morning Show. The Sports Section Morning Show.
Tough day to be a Titans fan. The morning after is always worse. Tough.
I know you heard of B. Will. The Sports Section Morning Show. You heard of B. Will. The Sports Section Morning Show. The Sports Section Morning Show.
You are listening to TFTV Sports.
All right, everybody. Sports Section Morning Show, episode 24, September 11th. The morning after is always worse, man. Worse, man. It's like when you go out, you have a rough night out, and you wake up next morning and it all hits you all over again. That's how it is with the Titans, man. That's how it is with the Titans. I know it's week one, but damn, what a tough way to lose. We got, bad quarterback play. Tannehill throws 3 interceptions. Offensive line looked real shaky to begin the game. They came into the game. Receivers struggled to get separation. That's a good Saints defense, though. I ain't gonna lie. You got one of the best corners in the league. Marshawn Lattimore. Cam Jordan was, shutting down the edges. Tough defense to go against. We kicked 5 field goals. Shout out to Nick Folk. We got a kicker. We might have a kicker. I'm going to knock on wood. Extremely good game by Nick Folk, our new kicker. Defense played well for them to be on the field so much. They were on the field a lot of snaps. And, with receivers like Olave and Michael Thomas, who I thought he was finna cook us the first couple plays, that first quarter. I thought it was going to be a long day with Michael Thomas, but he's sort of fizzled out. But, when you got guys like, Michael Thomas and Chris Olave, it's hard to keep them guys. It's hard to keep them in check. You know what I mean? They're so talented. They're going to get open. They're going to get loose. That happened to Olave a couple times. They're designing plays for Olave to get open just to where he gets free releases, and it's not conventional. There was a couple times, one off the top of my head, I think it happened twice, though. He lines up in the back of the backfield, motions out. That means that he's not on the line of scrimmage. He motioned out to like the slottish area, and Byard's covering him. Free release, hits Byard on an angle route, and they have a little pick/rub at the top of the stem, or at the stem of Olave's route, and he's free, and he gets a gain at 30. So it's just little things like that. It's hard to stop good offenses and good play designs. It's damn near impossible to stop good players and good play designs. That's just something that's the NFL, man. And as long as Derek Carr can just put it on Olave, he's gonna do his thing. So, it's just a tough game. Like I said, defense played well. The pass rush had 3 sacks. Arden Key played an extremely good game. Jeff was a little quiet, but he still managed to get a sack. But that's because they were putting so much attention on Jeff. Landry, you could tell it was his first game back in a while. I'm not counting that preseason bullshit. Obviously, he didn't do nothing for our quarterback. It takes them a little while to get into the game, but I was pleased with Landry. I was pleased with that pass rush. They looked dangerous that first half. They tapered off a little bit in the second half, but you could attribute that to just the first game. You know what I mean? But offense looked absolutely horrific. And I'm mainly talking about Tannehill. I don't give a damn, if it's week one. If you have a 3 interception game, that's terrible, man. I can be critical of that. It's just he didn't give us a chance to win. Not with 3 interceptions. And it could have been 5 interceptions. And he missed 2 touchdown passes, one to Chig and one to Tajay Spears wide open. Fucking Uncle Rico might have been able to make them throws wide open to Chig and Tajay Spears. It's just rough, man. And it's just rough, man. It's indicative of how a good portion of the fan base feels about this quarterback situation. It's just terrible. We're in a bad spot. On the bright side of it, and looking at it from the other side of the coin, Tannehill can't play much worse than that. Now I don't know if he can repeat that bad performance, but if you're thinking Tannehill can't play worse than that, and we still only managed to lose by 1 to one of the best defenses in the league with one of the best receivers in the league. So, it's just, that's one way to look at it. But, you have every right to be disappointed and critical of Tannehill and his performance. Yeah, it's early, but it's still a matter of you still got to perform on Sunday. And quarterbacks around the league struggled anyway, this week. But, it's just, that's still no excuse. Burrow got smacked by Cincinnati. It just happened all around the league. Let me see. So, yeah, for those who didn't know the scores, Titans 15, Saints 16. Tannehill threw for 198 on 16 to 34 completions, 3 interceptions. Derrick Henry ran 15 attempts for 63 yards. Tajay Spears, 3 attempts for 27 yards. Both of them had a long of 17 and 18 yards, respectively. And then DeAndre Hopkins had 13 targets, 7 receptions for 65 yards. Westbrook-Ikhine, 7 targets, 58 yards on 4 receptions. Derrick Henry, 56 yards on 2 receptions. So, it's just I like what I saw from Kelly also as the offensive coordinator. He showed some dynamism in his play calling. He spread the offense out a lot more, like I said he would. I anticipated him just going off what he did in Houston. He's going to spread the formation quite a bit more. It's going to open up some lanes inside for Henry. And Henry had a couple where he could have broke inside, and against a very, very good Saints front. So, I love to see Hopkins getting 13 targets. That's going to look a lot better when he's not facing a corner like Marshawn Lattimore. It's going to look a lot better. This week, Marshawn Lattimore was just following him all around the field and covered him like a blanket. That's just what it is. Marshawn Lattimore is just one of the best corners in the league. You're going to have weeks like that. But you got to have guys like Chig. Chig's supposed to be our tight end 1. We supposed to be, hyping him up to the media and shit and national media. Chig's got to get open. Chig's got to do better. Westbrook-Ikhine should not be our second most targeted player outside of Henry. And Hopkins. It should not be Westbrook-Ikhine. Chig has to step up. Burks has to step up. And that's not just, catching the ball. Burks had a huge drop, but it's a matter of getting open also. Like, get open. Chig ran 30 routes yesterday and was only targeted on 2 of them. So it's going to take me to look back at the film, of course. I'll look back at the all 22 and see, how open he was and really analyze this Titans and Tannehill performance. But got to do a better job, man. Just have to do a better job. And, it's Westbrook-Ikhine cannot have 7 targets and us expect to win the game. He can't. He absolutely can't. And I champion Westbrook-Ikhine like more than most, but he can't have 7 targets. He cannot. Unless we tossing that motherfucker 50 times a game. And if we doing that, then that's a problem too. That means we're down by 30. You know what I mean? So, Titans had 181 pass yards. This is stats according to CBS. 181 pass yards to the Saints, 282. 104 rushing yards to the Saints, 69. 285 total yards for the Saints, 351. Titans defensive front, extremely good against a plethora of Saints running backs. They threw 2 or 3 running backs back there. Wasn't nobody getting any daylight. Jamal Williams, one of the best power backs in the league, only held him to, I think like 45 yards or something like that. Not much. Extremely good. That Titans defense is going to be one of the best and hardest fronts to run on in the league. It's just a matter of that back end getting married to the pass rush and us finding a way to stop the pass. We gave up 301 yards to Derek Carr. So that's a concern. But the concern is not all levied on the Titans defense. It goes both ways. They're on the field all game. So you've got to take that into account that, when these guys are on the field all game long, that performance is going to taper off. Just like we say as we do and we try to do with the Titans offense and Derrick Henry to wear the defense down. Same thing can happen to us, and it looked like it happened to us yesterday. So that's just something that we've got to get better at offensively, sustaining drives. We were 10 for 12 on third down yesterday. Unacceptable. 10 for 12 on third down, 0 for 2 in the red zone, I want to say. I know we didn't convert in the red zone. I think we got there 2 times. Kicked 2 field goals. Unacceptable. First play of the game, we get a great play by Hooker. Great play by Hooker. Getting a damn tomahawk strip on the kickoff, and we gain 1 yard. We get backed up by a penalty. Penalties were an issue too. Get backed up by a penalty, and we only get it back to 39 and have to kick a field goal. Unacceptable. You got to capitalize on that. That's the gut punch you can give the Saints and quiet that crowd down, marching down the field from the 30 and getting a damn touchdown. And then getting a big stop on the next drive. That's how you win football games, and you really like take the energy out of the crowd. We weren't able to ever do that. There were points in the game where we dominated, where we were moving the ball effectively and we would get a stop, but then the drive would just stall out. We would get to a third down. We would either have a pre-snap penalty or something, get to a third down and soil it. It's just, or throw an interception. It's just. There was no way we weren't able to sustain any momentum throughout the game because of turnovers or penalties. Penalties, we had a couple pre-snap penalties, but it was just, it was loud environment. But that loud environment is neutralized when you go down on that first drive after a huge play by Hooker and score a touchdown. That's how you neutralize that loud environment, and everything else falls into place. It's like dominoes. Everything else falls into place after that. That's the things that great teams do on the road and to win football games. That's just what you have to do. You got to take advantage of momentum swings and sustain momentum. You have to. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about the Titans' performance, what y'all think about Tannehill's performance. We got fan sites out. Also, B. Will, Dub Easy, and myself's fan sites after the game are up on YouTube at TFTV Sports, so make sure you check those out. Y'all let us know in the comments what y'all think about Ryan Tannehill's performance and the Titans' performance overall, defense performance. Y'all let us know. Let me see. Christian Fulton. We'll talk Christian Fulton. Christian Fulton gets hurt in the first quarter. He comes back in the game with a hamstring injury. We hear and talk all offseason about, Christian Fulton and other players taking their health really serious over the offseason, building up the calluses over the offseason with, heavy conditioning. We heard that all offseason. Guy tweaks his hamstring in the first quarter. Like, come on, man. You can't make this shit up. But the bright side is that's the only person that got hurt. And, in the Titans, it comes in bunches. But Fulton being the only one that got hurt, him coming back into the game, even though he got cooked by Rashee Rice, I think that was his name. He had a great game besides that fumble, by the way, for the Saints. But, it's hopefully he's okay and he's able to play against the Chargers coming up because we're going to need him. With that 3-headed monster got out there. Mike Williams was hurt in the game. I don't know if he'll play against us, but they still got Johnston and Keenan Allen. And, Jay Herbo's throwing the ball, So we got to keep everybody healthy. Fulton, I hope he's healthy for next week's game in Nashville. We got to have him. But it just goes back to the point of injuries. You work all off season, and Vrabel talks about building the calluses throughout the offseason, conditioning hard, and you just pull your hamstring or tweak your hamstring. I can't even say it's pull. You tweak your hamstring in the first quarter. Didn't even get out the first quarter of the first game. It's just frustrating, man. I know it's frustrating for them, but it's frustrating for us fans too. it's the same shit, man. It's the same shit. But, we got to, excuse me. We have a tough 6-game stretch coming up, after this first game. I predicted in our NFL season prediction way back ago, me and Trail did one, we might have 2 or 3 wins out of this 6-game stretch, and I'll be ecstatic with them 2 or 3 wins. That's how tough this 6-game stretch is. The next after the 6, the next what is it? 9? No, the next 11, not as bad. But this first 6-game stretch, I'm gonna read it out for those that don't know. I had this New Orleans game as one of those wins, unfortunately. As one of those 2 or 3 wins, I had this New Orleans game. So that puts us behind the 8 ball a little bit, and that's why I'm really worried. I ain't gonna lie. Very worried. So we got the Saints, we got the Chargers next week. We got a tough Browns team that just beat the shit out of Joe Burrow and them. Then we face Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Then we face the Colts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we face the Ravens in London. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Excuse me. Saints, Chargers, Browns, Bengals, Colts, Ravens. 6 tough games. That Colts game's in Indy. That game's always tough. Indy looked good. AR-15 looked good. So, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I need 2 or 3 out of them 6. Have to have it. Have to. And, the Saints was one of them. But, the Titans are good. We know them for stealing the game that we ain't supposed to steal. I got us beating the Bengals at home. But we got to beat the Bengals. We got to beat the Colts. And I like our chances against Baltimore and London also. So it ain't doom and gloom, but Tannehill's got to get his stuff together, man. He has to get his stuff together. Absolutely has to get his stuff together. Let me see. What else we got? Anything else on the Titans? I think that'll be it. Let me see. Around the league. So yeah, Bengals lose to Cleveland 3-24. So dominant defensive performance by Cleveland. My boy, I had T. Higgins on fantasy. 8 targets, no receptions. It was rough, man. Absolutely rough. Ravens beat up on the Texans 25-9. The Buccaneers beat the Vikings, and I know that killed a lot of parlays. And my boy R. Smith went down there and took care of business against Carolina. Jaguars beat the Colts 31-21. That was a close game throughout. And Richardson had played well up until the end. I didn't see the end of it, but through the third quarter, he was playing very well. 49ers beat the shit out of the Steelers. They they destroyed the Steelers, man. At the halftime, Steelers ain't have nothing but damn negative 1 yards of offense. Just crazy. Raiders beat the Broncos. Eagles beat the Patriots. That game's a little closer than I thought. Rams beat the Seahawks in a shock. I'm surprised about that. And the Dolphins beat the Chargers in a shootout. That was always going to be a shootout. Also, and Dallas beat the brakes off of New York. 40-0, shut them out. I had the Dallas defense on the bench because I picked up Atlanta because they were going against Bryce Young. My Jokers had 34 points, man, on my bench. And Atlanta got me 14. So, tough sledding. Tonight, we have the Bills versus the Jets. Should be a great game against Buffalo and New York. Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen, man. Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen should be a good game. I think Buffalo are going to go in there and beat them, to be honest. I know New York's going to be jumping because of Aaron Rodgers and all them, but I think Buffalo's going to beat them. I can't even give you a score prediction. Probably 27-24 Buffalo. 27-24 Buffalo, what I got. But, that's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be interesting to see what Aaron Rodgers does with that new offense. You can't expect them to come out and click off the bat. That's not something you can expect. But, as the game goes on, Aaron Rodgers did play in the preseason a little bit too, so he's not going to be, you wouldn't think he'd be as rusty as some of the other quarterbacks. But, it's going to be very interesting to see how he does, especially against that tough Buffalo defense. That Buffalo defense ain't no slouch, man. They ain't no slouch. And they're going to be Von Miller. They're not going to have Von Miller. He's on IR, but it's still a very tough defense. They got a good secondary, Micah Hyde, Poyer. And, but Aaron Rodgers has weapons. He got Dalvin Cook, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, and his boy Randall Cobb. So they're going to be a tough team, and it's going to be a good game. Very good game. Actually, 27-24 might be too many points with how good both them defenses are. Jets got a hell of a defense, And Buffalo has a hell of a defense. So I might be shooting too high with 27-24. But hey, it is what it is. I think Buffalo will pull it out. I think they'll pull it out. Anything else? I think that's it. So yeah, Exit 1 show will be out tomorrow at 7 a.m. Tuesday, 7 a.m. Exit 1 show, episode 8, I think. Yeah, episode 8 will be out tomorrow at 7 a.m. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. Make sure you go back and watch TFTV's watch along. We did a live watch along of the game yesterday. It was a roller coaster of emotions, man. Roller coaster of emotions. And make sure y'all go see the fan sites that we recorded, the fan interviews that we recorded immediately after the game yesterday. That's all on YouTube at TFTV Sports. Make sure you like and comment, subscribe on those. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on this. And we appreciate all the support, man. Appreciate y'all.